I have a theory. I have a theory about who the next big raid boss Safi Jiva type enemy is going to be in Monster Hunter Wilds. So in Wilds, we go all the way downstairs to the bottom of the Dragon Torch and we find Zoh Shia, right? It's been absorbing the energy from the Wormway this entire time into its body. It's crystallized in wyvern milk. Now we basically crack it, we ore farm, we fight it, we kill it, then we keep it moving. However, there have been context clues in game that kind of lead to the fact that there is something else down there, something way more dangerous than Zoh. And when we go into the large monster field guide, there's this really, really cool unlockable titles feature that has these dope titles that you can unlock for monsters depending on how many times you basically kill them, right? So when you go to Guardian Arkveld, it's Guardian Arkveld, Rampager, Shriek, Chain. It's in reference to basically that monster's entire arc throughout the game. When you go to Rathalos, it's Rathalos, Sky, Prince, King, in reference to who Rathalos has been throughout his entire history of Monster Hunter. Same thing when we jump over to Rathian, Land, Princess, Wyvern Princess, Gormagala, Infection, Frenzy, Clips. The regular Arkveld is Arkveld, Desire to be alive, Chain Blade for its weapons, absorbing because it absorbed the energy of the other Apex monsters in the region. And the list goes on and on and on. Guardian Ebony Ordegaran, Hellhound, Sentry because it was defending the Wormway, Cursed Claw because when it hits you with its claw, it applies a blight and bleed. Something interesting though, when you go over to Zoh Shia, when you look at Zoh, or is it Zoh Shia? I don't know. Maybe it's Shia. I'm gonna go with Shia from now on. But when you look at the character, it is Zoh Shia, Savior, Promise, Innocent. I think Capcom is dropping clues that Zoh Shia wasn't Zoh Shia, good God, wasn't the main enemy. What we basically killed was something that sacrificed itself, that fulfilled its duty as a savior, that kept its promise to save the world, and was framed for the destruction of old Wyveria, but is actually innocent. And the reason for that has to do with Gormagala, because when Gormagala arrives, he begins just laying down the frenzy everywhere. And we discovered that the Wormway has basically been infected, that it is a living, breathing organism that sleeps underneath the basically the entire eastern continent. And when it's infected with the frenzy, suddenly there are sandstorms and lightning storms out in the desert. There's a torrential downpour rainstorm in the forests. The fires beneath the mountain are raging hotter than ever before, and it's empowered all of the apex monsters of that region. What if the creation of the Wormway and the Dragon Torch is what destroyed Wyveria? What if they created something down there that was so dangerous that the only way they could see themselves either beating it or containing it was to create a Guardian Construct version of Fatalis? What if they succeeded? What if Zoh isn't a failed experiment? What if he is actually a fully functional Fatalis? That's what it was. And it succeeded in basically saving the world from complete and utter destruction by freezing whatever is down there, crystallizing it completely in the wyvern milk. And that is going to be our major raid boss, like Safi Jiva was in Monster Hunter World. I am hella excited. When I say I'm excited, I am super fucking excited. I cannot wait. That would be dope as fuck to go all the way down there and discover that Zoh wasn't the bad guy, that he was basically just driven mad because it kept its promise and saved the world from this really bigger major threat. And that's typically how it is in regards to Monster Hunter. Typically we hunt a monster, like let's say in World Nergigante, only to discover that Nerg was trying to kill Xeno'jiiva because it upset the balance. And then it was the same thing in Iceborne, where we hunted I can't remember the name of the ice dragon off the top of my head, but then we discovered the big bug-eyed sand rock dragon thing was the one that the Everworm was the one that was basically just manipulating everything to get all of the energy for itself. I can't wait. I'm excited as hell. Like I am interested to see exactly where the lore goes, because there are some interesting implications that have basically been laid down, and I'm really hoping that the story covers them as we go forward.